Welcome back to Be Afraid of the Dark. I'm your shotgun Breck, and as always, next to me is your driver Spencer.
I am afraid of the dark.
And this week, we're the podcast asking the big questions, like, does pretending a priest get you sent to hell immediately? Is telekinesis good or bad? And are people the real monsters? This is Be Afraid of the Dark.
I think you should always pretend to be a priest, personally.
Especially if your pseudonyms are members of KISS.
That's just a good goof and a good gag.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are talking about Season 1, Episode 14, Nightmare, written by Sarah Gamble and Rael Tucker, directed by Philip Skrigica. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm just going to do it different every time. Sigricia. But it's SG. So why is it Sig?
I don't know.
No.
I've just always heard that they talk about him in like cons and they say Sigricia.
Okay, Sigricia. He'll hit me up on Twitter or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Anyway, this episode opens with a car being used to kill somebody.
Yeah,
it's 2 in a row for anyone keeping track.
Oh my God, it is. I hadn't even thought about that. But
anyway.
This time it's a little more insidious. It's a little...
Yes. Well, the funny thing is the next episode also involves a car, but it's not the same. There's a car-based clue. Car-based horror. That's the real Americana of it all, is that we just all have cars. Amen. Don't you wish we had walkable cities? So yeah, we get this man. We're not sure who he is. We assume this is a traditional cold open, wherein he pulls into his garage. The garage door closes on its own. All the car doors lock, and it turns on, and he dies from carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yes. Just like Midsummer.
And then Sam, who knows where, wakes up and has a headache and has seen this as a vision.
Yes.
And he gets up and he gets Dean out of bed and they rush off into the night to go see what's going on. Dean is skeptical and Sam is so sure and very stressed out about this.
Very stressed out.
So they end up, getting where they're going, and all of the details Sam had were completely correct. What's happening?
An hour too late to save the guy, which is clearly eating Sam up.
And it's not great. Well, and then this is just another cold open with them. The last couple episodes have had very untraditional cold opens.
Yes, this one's a very long. This episode and the next episode we're about to talk about.
Next episode doesn't even really have like a cold open.
Yeah,
quote unquote.
It's just a very. It's interesting. They're playing with it a little bit in these last couple episodes.
No real comment there. Just
something we noticed.
Anyway, they decide to start looking into this. Dean is still not 100% sold, I don't think, or at least he's willing to investigate it. I think he wants to ignore this because Sam is having a vision. And I think that's the big tension of this episode.
And it makes him nervous.
And it makes him a little nervous fella.
And then they show up to this house where the guy has supposedly killed himself the day before.
Yeah.
Posing for the very first time as priests. Hello, fathers.
You love to see it. They look great. It's also the one time Sam does his hair.
Oh yeah, he has it slicked back or whatever.
And he's super not on board with this. He's not okay with it. He's like, this has got to be a new low for us. And Dean's just like, yay. Yeah, we're
what's
praised.
up, guys?
Which is so
and
Dean.
their pseudonyms are again from KISS, which is just hysterical. There will never be anything funnier than Dean being like, "Hold on, I have to think of a pseudonym." Band member. Okay, and he's doing this without Wikipedia.
Yeah, he just knows it.
You have to laugh. And another thing that happens in this part of the episode is one of my favorite ongoing gags that Dean just eats and eats and eats and eats whenever he gets the chance.
That and the funny thing is that Sam is handed this teacup and he flinches at it because it's hot.
It's
and you're
so
like, okay,
funny.
wait, they're not handing you real hot tea. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
So that was an acting choice. What?
It's just very funny. It's like to me, it's like Sam is clearly very jumpy about this, and Dean's like, I'm eating meatballs.
Yeah, literally, he gets a little mini hot dog and he just shoves it in his mouth,
which is also me. And then if you think
tone it down, father.
If you think about it too long about why Dean overindulges and why Sam restricts, it gets really sad. So I'm not going to get into it quite yet, but.
Yes, I mean, very true. It is baked in sadness and the horrors.
Yeah, and the horrors. The horrors.
Well, this involves a trope that I like that they've already used once or twice this season, which is the unusual case. The case where the typical, cold spots, electrical issues, feeling
smell,
like
pills.
Yes, all those things are not involved, and so Dean is stumped, and Sam is stumped. And then Dean pulls out what I can only call a contraption.
We literally both audibly reacted to it.
He pulls out this thing that looks like a teleporter from Halo or some shit like that.
And then it starts like, it has like two laser beams
cross
like crossing.
Lasers,
like,
a screen. So he calls
what's going on with that?
He calls it something. I mean, it's like electromagnetic field meter or something.
Something.
They've upped their tech game, but it was hysterical to me.
Yes.
And I don't really know why.
Dean, please bring out the Walkman homemade EMF meter.
Well, this was clearly homemade too. It was just much funnier. Anyway, that is just a funny thing that I kind of love. I also love, this is another Supernatural mainstay, is when Dean is cleaning his guns.
Oh, so great. I love that. That's such a great background thing. Like
him taking the shotgun and pushing the wand down it to clean it is burned into my brain.
Oh, I love it.
Every time he does it, I'm like, yeah, we're watching
great.
Supernatural.
This scene also, that first scene also introduced another, again, something that he's already done this season, but Sam loves to bond with the troubled teen.
He really does.
Sam loves to be like, I too hate my father.
Yeah, and we get a good little press onto the mystery here.
Yes.
Towards the end of the episode. And it starts to make more sense why Sam is bonding with these kids. He empathizes
quite nice.
with him much more. We get a Sam headache. As he starts having visions while awake.
He's not special. I have headaches like that all the time.
I know. I really think you need to go to a doctor. You often just groan and fall over in pain holding your head, and I'm like, what is happening? And you're like, I have a headache.
And I'm like, oh, the visions.
Milwaukee.
We have to go get me a sweet treat.
Yeah, that is the truth. That's the headache
I'm having
you get.
a psychic vision, and the only thing that will stop this outcome is if I get a little coffee.
If I get a frozen yogurt. This is unbelievably true.
Free my boy Sam. He just needed a little sweet treat.
Yeah, so they've been unable to figure out any part of this mystery really up till this point. And then Sam has the first real premonition. I think we've had hints of premonitions, but mostly when he's asleep. But the first real premonition when he's awake. It just flashes and hits him, and he sees the brother-in-law.
Or the brother of the victim.
The brother of the victim, the uncle of the boy he's befriended, that we find out later he is the father, and this brother are terrible. They abused this kid. So he sees him in his apartment, and it's this great gag where, in retrospect, it's really funny because the window opens on its own, so he closes it and locks it and goes back to putting his groceries away or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the window goes, and you're like, man, he's just toying with him.
It's so great. It's so I believe I called out Final Destination again. It reminds me of Final Destination 2 of the guy in his apartment where everything's going wrong, and then he goes out the window and gets killed by the fire escape ladder.
I love that. We're fine. We've talked about this a bunch. We're Final Destination people.
We're Final Destination heads.
So we get another thing that becomes more of a mainstay later. I remembered season 1 having more of this, but blood splatter.
Oh, yeah.
We get a really good blood splatter and a really good kill, a really inventive, funny kill, because you're right, when he sticks his head out from under the window.
You're like, what's your problem?
He's looking at it like, what's going on? And you're like, dude, what do you mean what's going on?
Who fixes a window like this? You deserve this.
I know.
For reasons gotten into later, but also because you're stupid enough to be like, I'm going to fix my window by leaning my body half out.
And then the window on its own cuts his head off and drops it into the planter outside the window, and blood just splatters up. And then we get out of this vision, and Sam is there. And this brother, it's also important to note that is like, when they went disguised as priest, he was very angry at them.
Yes, he was like, I'm not interested in this, or whatever you're selling.
So yeah, that's a good little beat there. But Sam gets out of it. He's like, we have to go. So they rush out to save this piece of shit.
Which I think it's also, is he wearing, what kind of, he's like wearing a uniform when he gets home.
He's just some mechanic or something like that, I'm sure.
I almost thought he was a cop, and I was
No, I don't think he's a cop.
I was confused for a little bit, but okay.
So they're driving, and Dean's like...
Also, it's crazy, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's crazy that Sam can just call someone and get the guy's address.
Yes, yeah. He's like given a badge number and like, just hurry, and they just give him the address.
Like literally twice. He does that for the first guy and for the second guy. It seems like he just calls an operator and is like, can I get this address?
He says badge number, and he reads off a fake badge number.
Okay, good to know, because I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, it is funny, it is crazy, but he's faking being a cop.
Okay, sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, anyway, Dean, that we get a good little scene in the car where Sam's like, this has to be freaking you out. Like, in my opinion, trying to be like, please tell me you're freaking out because I'm freaking out.
Yes.
And Dean just gives him the nope, not freaking out. And he's so clearly freaking out.
He's very much... Dean is very big brother this episode.
Yes, and the next one.
And the next one where he clearly is like trying to be brave for Sam and like pretend like, nope, this is normal. We're going to get through this. Everything is fine. Everything is cool.
Yeah, he's playing up the machismo.
I'm not worried or freaked out at all.
He's very much playing up the machismo.
Yes.
They get there, they jump out of the cars, and they're like frantically trying to get this guy to stop from going inside to his inevitable death because Sam has had this premonition. He gives a pretty funny line of, "What are you guys missionaries? Leave me alone." Really, because again, it's like he's just like, why are these two priests rolling up on my house?
Why are these two priests rolling up? Also, how funny is it to watch two people who you think are priests get into their like 60s muscle car?
Yeah, the 67 Chevy Impala that's louder than sin, and
you're like, hello. I thought you guys were supposed to be living modestly.
No. It's really great. I genuinely, I think it's funny every time there's a disguise. Yes. And they're like driving away, and you're like, that's not standard issue. What's going on there?
They're like walking up, and you're like, why are these priests in like Carhartt?
I always want them to be like, oh, we're undercover. And they're like, they called us in because we were closest or something, you know? This is a weird thing. I have no reason to like this so much, but I love when the Winchesters have to like climb stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I've realized because there was a fence episode, and I made a big note about that, about how they don't really we as a society don't really hop fences anymore.
Yeah.
And I just love when they have to like climb, and then we get some good visuals of them like running up the fire escape stairs. It's really cool. They do not get there in time. That man dies.
That man dies pretty dramatically.
And they just have a funny beat, which is, I think, unnecessary, but they're staring at it. There's a cool shot of like the blood up and the head and the thing, but Dean's outside looking in. And he like pulls out bandanas and he's, wipe down your prints before the cops don't know we're here. And I'm like, I don't care. You know, like
it's very funny. Like, I'm like, Dean,
they're covering their bases, which I think covers like a whole stretch of the season. You know, they're like, no, they do this every time. We just don't show it every time.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't care.
Sure.
Then Dean breaks into the apartment.
And you're like, okay, so what was...
he's still wiping. It's fine.
It makes me laugh. Also, on their way there, they're mentioning more creatures it could be before they figure out the mystery, which is another bit of great world building of like... I believe he says it could be an Angiac, it could be a Banshee, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Do they ever do a Banshee episode?
I feel like
they've got to do it at some point. I
want to say there is, but I might be mixing it up with Teen Wolf, with MTV's Teen Wolf that I was
speaking of not remembering if they're doing things. This is the episode so far that I have not remembered at all. It's the first one that I've had genuinely no memory. Now, about midway through, I figured it out and was like, okay, yes. And then it became a little more familiar.
Yeah.
I had no memory of this episode. And it's funny because it's a plot episode. We learn a lot.
I remembered it. The moment I saw Max, I was like, oh, I remember what happened here.
Who is, by the way, just like he's that guy of film and television. He kind of pops up in a bunch of stuff. I think he did something earlier in his career before this because he gets a guest starring credit.
Yes.
In this, so I think he must have been in something really big before.
You said
he
was on Smallville before that.
He did like he played one of the villains in Smallville. He played like an episode.
That might be it then.
He did an episode.
Him and Jensen are known CW or WB at the time qualities.
Yeah, I'm sure. Just one of those things. But anyway, that was cool. We get another good conversation between Sam and Dean where they're kind of talking and debating what's going on and wondering whatever. And Sam gives this really good, Sam's like, our family's cursed.
We have dark spots.
Yeah, and Dean says, our family's not cursed. We just have our dark spots.
Yeah.
And then Sam goes, they're pretty dark, right? And then we move on.
All-timer exchange about the family.
Yeah, they go into a neighborhood that we should live in because those houses are amazing.
It pisses me off how great everyone's houses are in Supernatural, despite whatever their job is.
I know, right? Like now you look at that house. The house every house in that street probably costs $5 million.
Yeah,
and they're like not huge. They're just really there's a lot of character.
They're just nice little houses.
They look kind of like they remind me like San Francisco kind of houses, like that vibe.
Yes.
Architecturally.
Also, I like that. After they're doing this, they're going to, before that, they have a conversation with Max again where they go over and he reveals that, his uncle used to live next door to them when he was a kid and everything. And he has this line where he's like, nothing says I'm sorry like a tuna casserole, which I don't know why that tickles me so, but
he had to tell the people who were trying to be nice to go away.
Yeah.
And, as we learn very soon, he's the one doing this. And he's like, I'm so sick of the sympathy these monsters are getting, which is fair.
Yeah. And he lets on kind of more that he was scared of his dad and his uncle.
Yeah.
Which I like that Sam and Dean are very good at picking up on those subtle cues. Yeah. I like that we have even more proof now that they're very good at reading people and figuring out, like, this person's hiding something. And we're going to figure out what it is.
Yeah. Well, so then they've talked to him. They've talked to this neighbor guy who used to live across the street from this the Miller family. What I like about that dude is he seems like a really good guy.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I called the cops like 7 or 8 times, which means he didn't just give up. He just kept trying to do the thing he could do.
He didn't just watch these people abuse this kid and do nothing. He tried to do stuff and saw nothing happen.
Yeah. So then we get...
And he straight up says, is that poor boy okay?
Yeah.
And you're like, ugh.
It's good. It's good stuff. It's a good way to reveal what's going on and build sympathy for that, because we start learning about the abuse at framing him as a child.
Yes.
Dean introduces him as this little kid, even though now he's grown. Anyway, we have a cool transition to Sam's flashback where he like starts having a headache. The guy's like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah," and then Dean like carries him away almost.
That neighbor's like, what the hell?
Yeah, the camera kind of like pans up and goes and flashes into a POV shot, which I think is really cool.
Very cool.
This POV shot of these like the as we find out, the stepmom, which they didn't know, chopping up some food and cooking, and he's the Max is yelling. I think Max is so well cast. Right?
He's very well.
He's very tortured. As like the actor, he seems very tortured.
Believably like this guy is haunted.
Yeah, he's very much a TV that guy. Mm-hmm. Cool transition, but then he floating knife up and it like floats in her face, and there's this really cool like look. The CGI in it is fine. It's pretty good actually.
It's held up fair.
You can tell it's CGI, but there's one moment where she's like pressed against the wall, and it's like here where you can see the cutoff they have for the clean plate, and it's just really funny because there's like a line and it goes doot around the knife. Yeah. It's pretty funny. Anyway, the
reflection of the knife in her eye freaks me out.
Okay, that was what I was going to say, is the moment when it gets really close to her eye and she's like has a tear and it like almost pops the tear, and like
it is
really
crazy.
Cool. It's really cool moment.
Again, I don't know if I've mentioned this on this podcast before. I can handle a lot of things in horror. I do not like things happening to eyeballs. I hate it. And so this was like surprise, like, I forgot.
Well, I think this death, it doesn't actually count because she doesn't die. It's just a premonition. But the knife like going through and sticking into the wall, it's very Terminator 2.
Yes.
It's got very Halloween when he like,
This episode's like fairly kind of gory.
Yeah, there's several good blood splatters in this one.
Yeah.
Like, for how few deaths there like actually are.
Yes.
There's 3. But the first one is not really gory. The second one's gory, and then two of the premonition deaths are pretty bloody.
Yeah,
it's cool. I'm into it. Sam and Dean are rushing over to try to stop him from killing her. They have kind of this moral debate, which I very much am on Sam's side. Dean's like, you can't just kill your whole family, and it's like, well, they kind of severely abused him.
This is pretty much an instance of the dog biting back.
Yeah, yes, very much. And like, look, do I think that retribution is the answer for everything? No, of course not.
No.
But you can understand why a kid who's like 6 months ago figured out he had psychic powers.
You can absolutely have empathy for someone who was
Especially as it's revealed that he was abused as a kid. It went away for a while, and the second his dad started getting drunk again, he started beating him, and not just like beating him, severely. Like he lifts his shirt and it's beaten to shit.
Like it's not just run of the mill. Like my dad yelled at me and threw stuff around. It's ongoing strenuous physical abuse by not just your dad, but by your uncle who joins in, and then your stepmom who refuses just watches.
To do anything. Yeah. Well, okay. Another note here is that Dean has the silver Colt with the pearl handle that has no engravings on it. I could have sworn in Skin is the first time we see the actual Colt with the engravings. Yeah. So I wonder if in that episode he loses it. And then later they're like, okay, that gun is too cool for him to have lost. We're just going to bring it back. I don't know. Or Dean after this was like, you know what? I deserve something special.
Yeah.
It is not cheap to get guns engraved. Which, by the way, Jensen Ackles, this is the smallest. Jensen Ackles, that's one of the things he quote unquote kept from the show is he wanted to keep it, but because they filmed in Canada, he lives in the US, Customs would not let him take the weapon.
Oh.
So he bought the exact gun, not a cheap gun, and had it engraved in the exact same way, not cheap. So he has a real version of the prop gun.
Yeah.
That is an exact replica, which is so funny that he couldn't find a way to get it.
You can't mail it to yourself? I guess it's not like a thing you can do.
I don't know. Because it was a production and because there's all kinds of insurance things, I'm sure they're like, you cannot leave the country with this.
You mean they have cogent gun laws in Canada?
They debate whether or not they should kill him. And Sam does not want to kill him. Sam's like, you have to promise me to take my lead on this.
Yes.
I think it's a really good little debate because you can clearly tell that Sam is like, I'm this kid.
Yes.
And if you're willing to kill him, when are you willing to kill me? And there's some insecurity there. And I like that. I think that's good.
And this is another thing that they've brought up before where like in Faith, like Dean is like, do we have to like kill a person here?
Yes.
They have this conversation. This is
up
maybe
until
the
now they've refused. I mean,
yeah.
Even next episode, which is the people episode, they refuse to kill them.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Also, Max is, we find out that he's had his powers the exact amount of time that Sam has. But Max is markedly more powerful.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I think, so in a really cool moment, they convince Max to come outside and talk to them. He sees Dean's gun in a reflection and then like Jedi mind whips it out of his waistband and like holds it like on them and grabs it, whatever. Sam talks him down enough to get Dean and the stepmom to go upstairs. And it's a great moment where Dean's like, I am not leaving you alone with this guy.
Yeah.
Good little setup. They start they go upstairs. Sam and Max have a conversation. And that conversation amounts to what I think is a really cool reveal of like with the knife spinning on the table.
Yes.
And he's like, 6 months ago, my powers, they showed up. And Sam's like, wait. And then the bigger reveal is that Max's dad, told him that his mom died pinned to the roof bursting into flames.
Yes.
Which is the exact way that Mary dies.
And Jess.
And so Sam's like, okay, wait. And
Sam's like, sorry, we'll get back to all of this later. What the fuck did you just say to me?
Sam forgets the mission, is desperately trying to be like, something's out there and we can kill it, but you have to let Dean and I go and you have to stop. Because he's insistent, I'll stop after her. And of course he won't, because whenever you start down a path, you are on that path.
And it's sad because the reason he gives is like, he's like, I don't have the full quote written down, but he says, it was about not being afraid.
Yeah.
Which is just really,
he's a very sympathetic character.
It's a very heartbreaking episode.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then there's Winchester's getting flung around, which is something I live for.
Oh, yeah.
And Jared, the way he says no is so iconic to me. It's like such a specific cadence, but he gets flung into the closet, it gets shut, and a cabinet gets pulled in front of it. We follow Max upstairs as he has the gun and he's like Jedi mind floating it. Dean gets in the way of the stepmom's like, you want to kill her? You got to kill me. And he goes, okay. And he shoots Dean in the head. And we see it. Headshot, blood splatter on the wall. Dean falls over and we're like, huh? And then Sam in the closet, he's had another premonition and he starts freaking out. And this is what I want to talk about, like why this kid is so much stronger than Sam is anger.
Yes.
Right? This is a demonic power they've been given. It is built off of anger and violence and isolation.
Yes.
So Sam in that moment like freaks out and yells and it shoves the cabinet away with his mind. So not only does Sam have some kind of ESP, he also has some form of telepathy.
Yes.
Telekinesis? Telekinesis, yes.
Telepathy, telepathy is moving.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think it's really interesting too because even in the past, like when Sam was especially broken up over Jessica, that's when he's having those dreams.
Yes.
And when he's kind of moving on from the scenario and like moving forward, he's better. So I think it is maybe not necessarily just anger, but just heightened emotion. Like I think Sam has been living in this like dead end state. For a bit.
So yes, I completely agree. Max ends up, Sam's able to talk him down somewhat, and he ends up taking his own life with the gun.
Sad.
In a very this episode's super dark.
It's very dark.
We do get a great ending to it, which is them, and there's a bit more of a conversation about, we have to do this, and I moved this thing with my mind. They catch up a little bit, and Dean continues to say, nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You won't do this again. He's like, because you have something he doesn't. He's like, what, Dad? Dad's not here. Because there's that moment where Sam is like, I'm glad we had Dad. And to give John fairness, he gave his family purpose.
Yes.
Whereas this kid just had abuse. Like, John could have ended up being this guy.
Which they acknowledge.
This is the far worse form of abuse.
Yes.
Is just the physical torture of a child is horrific. Now, John is not much better.
No.
But at least John loved his children. Because Sam even says that. He's like... He's never felt somebody looking at them and hating him, a parent looking at him and hating him, because he knew John loved him.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite moments in the episode, and maybe one of my favorite moments of the season thus far, is Dean essentially going, he's like, that Dad's not here, and he's like, I'm not talking about Dad. I'm talking about me.
Yeah.
As long as I'm around, nothing bad's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
And it's really touching because, like you said, this has very much been Dean's Big Brother episode, and so is the next one. But this one is very literal. He's like, besides, I know where we need to go next. And you're like, oh, what's he going to talk about? What are we going to figure? And he goes, Vegas.
It's
but
so
then,
great.
but what I love about this is the getting shit done music starts playing.
Yes.
And he's like, "What? We'll shoot some crabs. We'll hit the blackjack
and
tables."
Sam's
and
ignoring him.
just walking, and then they pause. The music cuts out. They pause, and you can see Dean's a little still worried. He's just putting on bravado. He turns off the light and closes the door, and just this beautiful shot where it's like pitch black. He's silhouetted, and you can see the car and Sam walking away. Really great ending.
It's great. Again, this is another thing that comes up a lot of Dean doing this like joking bravado to cover up his fears.
Yes,
I just love it. I just love it. I think it's so. Jensen Ackles.
I love you, Jensen.
Thank you, Jensen.
Yeah. Okay. So.
I just wanted to point out before I forget. Also, when going back a little bit, when Max is revealing to Sam about how his mom died, the exact same score from when Mary is killed is playing. I noticed that it's the do 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 do. It's like this creepy piano.
The motif.
Yes, when he's describing. He's like, my dad would get drunk and tell me my mom got pinned to the ceiling and burned. And like, that's the exact same music that's
your dad was telling you the truth. Yeah.
Which I think
that's cool. I like that.
I picked that up and I was like, oh, I've never noticed that before. That's a really fun, that's a fun detail.
I don't know if I have anything else to like note out in this episode. I think this is a good one. It's not one of my favorites of the season, but it has a lot of moments that it has higher peaks than it has consistency.
Yes.
For me. Anyway, ready for best line?
I am.
All right. Best line. What do you got?
Our family's not cursed. We just have dark spots.
Yeah, that is for sure the best one. The funniest line to me is, "What are you guys, missionaries? Leave me alone."
It's so fun. What are you guys, missionaries?
It's pretty funny. That and just Vegas.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Vegas.
Good. That and as long as I'm around, nothing bad's gonna happen. He was really good. All right, best kill. What are we nominating to go to our end bracket?
I'm stuck, so I want you to go first.
Window decapitation.
Yeah.
It's the most original. It's the coolest idea to me, and it brings back blood splatter. And I'm a huge fan of practical blood splatter. I love it.
I was halfway between garage and window just because I think I have a personal fear of suffocating to death.
Makes total sense.
So, and I find the idea of being trapped somewhere and suffocated incredibly terrifying.
I just think as a mechanism of horror, it's not as scary as presented.
It's a little more, like there's no mistaking getting decapitated by your window is a suicide.
Yeah. And just to clear this up, no kill. Sam is still at 4. Dean is still at 7. I'm not even going to edit in the scoreboard because neither of them got any points this episode.
No one got a kill. We just all got really sad.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Next episode. Season 1, episode 15, The Benders.
I was thrilled to hear we had this one coming up.
Written by John Shaban, directed by Peter Ellis, two mainstays of writing and directing this. The series, so you and I had this discussion. I really remember this episode. Yeah. Except I fully remembered it being Sam or Dean that gets captured, and it was like almost a pleasant surprise that it wasn't, because like we need to put Sam in that situation.
Yes.
And we need to put Dean in his situation. It's the more character based one. I do not know why I misremembered how this episode went down.
I'm sure Dean gets put into a cage at some point.
Of course.
It's
the cage of his mind.
Yes. This is also only the first time that Sam ends up in a cage.
Yep.
Free my boy.
Free Jared.
My boy.
I also love that he's too big for the cage. We'll get to that.
It's really amusing. Anyways.
So I don't really have a comment on this cold open other than this kid staying up late watching monster movies is kind of my
Oh yeah, he rocks.
That is us as children, I think. Like we were like, what's the cool weird thing?
Yes.
And we find out what he's watching, but a guy gets snatched under the car.
Yes.
And it's scary. Like there's something about being in a parking lot at night, which is frightening.
Oh yeah, that's real. Every parking lot I'm ever in at night, I'm like,
yeah, it's not great. Anyway, so that happens, and then we don't really get, like I said, not really a cold open so much as we go into the room, and the mom and that boy from the beginning are talking to 2 uniformed officers. When I say uniform, I mean khaki, the big jacket,
the
hat, like the big round hats, not the what you think of as a cop hat. And it like slowly pans up as he's like telling him, we've had police here all week. He's going to start believing this is real. And then Sam takes off his hat. And by the way, Jared looked real good there. Just going to throw that out. This is a very good Jared episode. I think he has a lot to do.
Oh yeah.
And he's good in these moments.
How sexy he looks later. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When he's pulling on the, ooh, Jared. Anyway, takes out the hat, and it's Sam and Dean in full get-ups, and I don't know why it killed me so much.
Why did they have the whole ass get-up?
I paused it.
Where did they get that from?
I was like, where do y'all keep these in your
Because it makes me laugh also because I think they mentioned later that John used to just take them shopping at the army surplus store.
Yeah.
And that's why they have so much. But I'm like, you can't go to the thrift store and get like a state police uniform.
I know. It's so funny.
It's so ridiculous. Where did they get it?
I'm so into it. Anyway, then we get another moment that I really like of the mom being like, tell him what you were watching. Because he describes what he heard as like a whining growl.
Like a monster
And so she's
noise.
like, tell him what you were watching. And he goes, Godzilla versus Mothra. And Dean, in true Dean fashion, goes, oh, that's my favorite Godzilla movie.
And he's like, this guy likes the remake.
Well, and the thing I watched a video essay on somebody talking about this, and they talk about that moment. I'm talking about Supernatural season 1, and they talk about that moment, and he goes, it's so funny that even Dean knows that it's the right one, because there's the remake is titled something, I think it's like Mothra and Godzilla, or something, I don't know, please tell me in the comments. It's titled something different, so the fact that Dean distinguished and knew immediately is like kind of hilarious. And the kid's like, oh, when he realizes Sam likes the remake.
He goes, yuck. It's so funny.
I love when, again, Dean is very connected to children because he's stuck in so many ways.
Yes.
And he's a protector. And anyway, I like that moment. And again, Dean Winchester being as much of a nerdy as he is, did so much for geek culture.
Dean Winchester's secret nerd cinephile. Come on now.
And I'm really cinephile. Yeah, he does watch a lot of movies.
This episode has a lot of movie references too. They make a vague reference to Deliverance later. When I think the other guy, spoiler alert, you're watching this, you should have watched it already, is like, they're gonna Ned Beatty us.
Yeah. Okay, well, so let's talk about this. They're Sam and Dean are there investigating. They're like, I don't know, maybe it's nothing. And then they once again, in a thing that is going to become a staple of this show, is that John has pinpointed the exact thing and done nothing about it.
And you're like, John, can we?
Yeah, all the disappearances.
Welcome back to John's scrapbook.
Yeah, they mention phantom attacker. Is that something? Is that like
they say Phantom Attackers, Spring-Heeled Jack, which I was like, is that his own thing? Because I'm pretty sure that's just a nickname for the devil.
Oh, okay, well.
But they mention Phantom Attackers who take people from their beds.
Yeah, so I didn't know if a Phantom Attacker was like a specific monster or if that was like a class of monster.
I think it's a specific monster.
Okay, well.
They're also at like Cuggles Keg or whatever is the name of the bar, which is a great name.
Yeah, well, it's just funny to me. It's like, I love there's been more disappearances in this area than anywhere else. I think that's an interesting thing.
Oh, very cool.
So I'm into this. I'm into the Phantom Attacker, the setup. They're going to go and leave the bar, and Dean's like, let's have another thing. He's like, we should get an early start. And Dean calls him a buzzkill.
Yeah, and Grandma.
He's like, Grandma. He's like, I'm gonna go take a leak. Sam goes outside. This show loves a cat jump scare.
Oh yeah.
For whatever reason, it's really into that.
It makes me laugh. Also, the fact that the cat is there later after the jump scare.
Yeah.
And you're like,
yeah,
you guys just like this cat? Did it just show up on set?
Yeah, I would like to think so. The next cat thing, and we won't spoil it for people who are watching the show with us for the first time, is the funniest episode of the entire show, I think. The really famous cat one.
I'm drawing a blank.
I'll tell you off pod.
We'll talk about this off pod. I won't spoil anymore. I feel like I already spoiled so much accidentally. So.
It's fine. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what? Whatever.
It is
I
what
make
it
veiled
is.
references to things, and you'll figure it out.
It's going to take us so long to get to all that stuff. Anyway,
the score is great in this section.
This also looks great. You know, the smoky outside.
Yes.
The one thing Supernatural does really well that we haven't talked a ton about is like the set dressing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They find really good locations.
Yes.
For all of this stuff. So this is another example of that.
Yeah, we've really only talked about that with the asylum, but even like this is just some run of the mill like roadhouse on the side of the highway, and it still looks like gorgeous. Yeah. This episode looks really great in particular.
It does. I'm into this one. A lot of rain, a lot of like cool shadowy areas, a lot of good set dressing. Anyway, Sam is snatched. Dean comes out and he's freaking out. He has no idea what to do. He spots a security camera the next day. And this is something I like about the structure of this episode is we don't cut to Sam quick. We're off Sam for like 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
For at least 3 or 4 scenes. Anyway, Dean goes out.
And this is our cold open. Still.
Yeah, technically this is the end of the cold open, more or less. Like I said, they're not really cold opens these episodes. Anyway, Dean goes to the cops. He talks to her, and I really like this character. I think she's a good one-off character.
She's a cool one-off character.
There's good empathy. Her and Jensen Ackles have good chemistry. I like her as a character.
When he's like talking about it, he's like, Sam Winchester, and she goes, like the rifle? And he goes, like the rifle.
Like the rifle. Yes, I'm very into that. They discuss it. And again, in true Dean fashion, she mentions, his brother is suspected of murder, and he's like, Dean.
Oh, he goes, yeah, Dean, kind of the black sheep of the family. Handsome though.
Yeah, it's like he has to compliment himself to somebody who doesn't know and doesn't give a shit.
Ridiculous. Which again, they don't have to be calling back to Skin and everything that happened in Skin.
Yeah,
but they do.
Yeah, they make sure it's like no, Dean is dead in this world. I'm really into it. He has a wonderful line where she's kind of like, you have to fill out this form, and he's like, no, we have to hurry. This is my family.
Yeah.
And he goes, Sam's my responsibility, and he's coming back. I'm bringing him back because no one ever comes back once they go missing in this area. And we don't know this about her, but her brother's gone missing is what we find out later. Anyway, then we cut to her coming out of a municipal courthouse, and Dean's waiting on the bench, and she gives him these pictures, and he thumbs through them, sees a van, sees the license plate new on this rusty-ass van.
Yeah.
And they realize, okay, so this is involved, so we have to figure out this. And then a van drives by, and he hears kind of this, like, was it a
whiny growl?
A whiny growl, and he's like, "Son of a bitch!" And he starts realizing.
And then
we cut to Sam in a cage next to the guy who got snatched in the cold open.
Yes.
The cage is too small for Jared. He can't stand up in it. I love that detail.
Yes.
Because Jared's huge.
Jared's huge. I was like, Jared's not that huge, but I'm just used to how big you are. So now I just have a skewed idea of how tall other
Jared Padalecki is taller than me.
Only by an inch.
Yeah, but that inch does a lot.
But yeah, so Sam is stuck in a cage for the first time and not the last time.
And not the last. But he talks to this guy. This guy's like, what do they look like? And then he's like, well, find out for yourself. And they come in. A gate, we find out, are like electronically, so you have to have a key to turn them. They open. They bring in food and leave it for the guy and leave. And Sam's like, son of a bitch.
They're just people.
They're just people. And the guy's like, what did you think they were? Which is hilarious in that guy's perspective.
That guy's hilarious also because Sam asks if he's doing okay. And he goes, does it look like I'm doing okay?
Yeah, it's
like, do I look like I'm having a good one in here?
Genuinely funny. But yeah, so I like that we do the Just People episode in season 1. It shows that they're not afraid to like not have the monster show have monsters in it occasionally. I like that. I'm into that.
It's very fun. It allows for...
And this episode's burned in my brain because I remember thinking it's really scary, that reveal of like they're just people and you're like, oh no, like
what are we going to do?
Yeah, I'm into that.
I also love this following scene that you're about to talk about of Dean in the car with the police officer and
revealing that she has a brother that went missing.
She's like, so I ran your badge number, and she turns the camera and it's a large black man and he's like, I lost weight and I have that Michael Jackson skin disease. Yeah. And she's like, okay.
And but he's pleading with her. He's so scared to lose Sam and he's just pleading with her to let him help.
He says, like it's my job to keep him safe.
Yeah.
And the thing about Dean Winchester is I never believe he's like, yeah, I'll take care of it, whatever. And like not doing.
Yeah.
There is everything about Dean is both bravado and sincere.
Yes.
He's a deeply sincere person. And I don't think he means to be, but anything when it comes to Sam is this episode is just very touching to me.
Yeah. This is a really good one. This is one I remember outside of being completely mistaken about who was in which situation, but it's one that I really like. So that happens, and then we get Sam trying to break out, and he pulls on the electrical cable and pops it off, and it falls. And this is hysterical to me. Look, I understand why they're doing it. It's a setup. They have to set up that a thing is in there. Jenkins, the guy in the other cage, asks, what is it? And Sam lifts something that popped off the roof, and he goes, it's a bracket. You're like, what?
It's a bracket. And the other guy's like, oh, great. I'm glad we have a bracket
Anyway,
now.
The bracket comes up. He like sharpens it and uses it as like a throwing weapon later to close some distance and beat the shit out of it.
Also, Jared looks hot.
Jared looks hot as hell. He doesn't like when people call him Sammy. Even that guy, he's like pulling. He's like, don't call me Sammy. And he like rips the thing off the wall.
Only my brother's allowed to do that.
Yeah, and even then, it peeves me.
Also, we get the reveal that they're capturing people to hunt them.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So in that same scene, Jenkins' cage opens on its own and pops out.
And he's like, it must be a short.
He's like, I'll go. Yeah. And Sam's like, dude, get back in the cage. This is not what you think it is. This is not going to be good. He's like, I'll go get help. And he runs off, finds a knife in the rain, and then systematically is picked apart by these two guys out in the woods. They're beating the shit out of him. They're stabbing him. They're cutting him. They're letting him run off and catching him again in a hunt. They're hunting people. This scene looks really pretty good until the final kill moment. I don't think looks as good, but when he's like running and they stab him through the leg, and
spooky.
It's good stuff. And the guys are like laughing and giddy, which is always freaky whenever somebody's doing something like that.
I hate any like giddy hunting. It happens in Yellow Jackets too, and it's one of the only times Yellow Jackets scares me. I don't people hunting people.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, a very most dangerous.
I don't like it.
Yeah, very most dangerous game.
Most dangerous game.
It's also episode looks good, but I love that they're hunting with these old ass spears. Like,
yeah, it's very like they're really like doing this weird like we're going back to the ancient.
Yeah, like
hunt.
sticking him like a pig and jump. Yeah,
it's weird.
Anyway, so they double stab Jenkins. Jenkins is dead.
R.I.P.
Sam hears him screaming.
Never mind. I was about to lie.
No, there's one more, but it's like off camera.
Yeah.
Well, this is technically off camera too. Anyway, back to Dean and this cop, and Dean gives the funny. He's like, "I hate to press my luck," and she's like, "Your luck is so pressed." Because she's letting him continue on this hunt, even though she's caught him.
Yeah, she like knows he's at the very least impersonating an officer and a criminal. Like she. But this is another thing I like about the recurring quote unquote cool cop character on Supernatural of like the people who are willing to be like, okay, I understand some freak shit is amok, so I will tolerate the Winchesters as long as need be.
And they've realized a couple things, so they know where to look. They find the first turnoff they can find, and they are both going to go down. And then she handcuffs Dean to the car because he can't go because she's like, "You're a felon. I don't know. I don't even
she's
whatever."
Like, why the hell would I bring you?
He's like, "You're going to need me." She walks off, and Dean's standing. He's like, "Man, I got to start carrying paper clips." And it's like, dude, why don't you already?
It's so funny,
hysterical to me.
I also love I guess the investigative shots that are being placed, I guess, when she's walking up to the house and she's like staring at like this empty pen and like everything's kind of rainy and broken. Yeah. It's very, again, more great set dressing of like,
good location, good set dressing.
And I love how it's been at least 6 to 8 months now since the beginning of the show. It's still fall. It's never stopped being fall.
Yeah. Always
we
be
picked
fall.
This show up at the beginning of November in universe and it's still fall somehow.
Yeah. Then she gets caught. She talks to. We find out there's a daughter, 2 sons, and a dad. That's what we find out. That's what we're dealing with in its totality. She gets knocked out with a shovel, and then the 2 brothers drive down and they come out and they're looking at the cop car and they're like, cops never made this far, whatever they're talking about. And Dean has pulled off the wire from the car and has uncuffed himself and is gone. We don't know where he is. In a funny scene of where he's like stretching out to get it while they're coming. Good scene. Cop lady wakes up in Jenkins' former pen, his former cage, and Jared's talking to her. They kind of reveal, she's like, "I handcuffed your cousin," quote unquote. She thinks to the car, and Sam's like, "God damn it!" Somebody comes in, and this kills me because the Dean just casually walks in.
Oh yeah,
he just like do.
And I pointed out that they're trying to make it a reveal, but you can tell it's Jensen because he's so bow-legged.
Yeah.
That you're like, I know who that is.
Yeah. It's funny. It's just his casualness. He's like, there's no way to do this without a key. But they also confirmed that her brother was taken by these people and killed because his Mustang is outside.
His Mustang is outside. And then Dean does a little investigating in a minute and sees all these incredibly creepy pictures of
Polaroid
them. Like
pictures.
It's
posing with the people they've killed like they're deer.
Yeah, it's literally like, hey guys, here's my fish pic for Hinge. And then it's just them with like people and her brother. It's very sad and creepy.
He gives a funny line there too, which is demons I get, people are crazy.
Yeah.
Which is so true. Then he's going through and he sneaks into the house and he kind of sees the dad and they're cutting up what we can presume is Jenkins with all kinds of rusty weapons. He picks up a spike. He walks around. He sees the keys. He goes, okay, I got to get the keys. I got to get them. Goes to the keys, picks up a jar of teeth, which is super unsettling and gross. Sits that down, grabs the key, turns around. The daughter is there.
Yes.
And then we
know is a feral little creature.
Yes, and we get a great fight scene here. This fight scene's really good.
I love it. It's it's
a lot of tackling, a lot of throwing around. We could see that if it was just those 2 brothers versus Dean, Dean would have won.
If it was Sam and Dean together, they're making quick work.
Yeah, because she like pins him to the wall and he rips it off and then gets tackled and thrown into the wall, gets up and just beats the shit out of him a little bit. He backed up, he gives a line, he's like, "I'm going to kick your ass. And I'm going to kick your ass." And then he gets a very comical dung with a pan from the father. Super funny to me. He's tied up. They kind of torture him a little bit. The shot of the like iron right next to his eye is really cool.
So creepy with the reflection in the eye and everything.
And he's like, you get to pick who we're going to hunt next. And he's like, no. Inevitably, he's like Sam because he figures Sam can take these guys in a fair fight if he has a weapon. They are going to go out and shoot them. They're just messing with Dean.
Yeah.
So they go off to go do that. They open the cage and Sam throws the bracket that it looks like he's sharpened into kind of a knife, throws it at the guy. There's a shot. And this is kind of, we're introduced to Dean's wrath a little bit for the first time, where he's like, I'm going to kill all of you. He's very big and very strong in the true Dean way, which later becomes a big part of his character. Sam gets out. He's let her out. They've locked one of the guys in there. Don't kill them, which I don't understand. But the gun is jammed, right?
It's fine.
Give Sam one more issue. The gun is jammed. He can't use it. Get a good little cat and mouse. Cop drops down on top and like chokes out the guy.
She's great.
And I like that Sam ducks and they make the brother shoot the dad.
It's so funny.
It's hilarious.
It's like Looney Tunes.
Yeah,
almost.
he's like, it's clumsy. I love because like real violence in real life is clumsy. Like it's awkward and not very cool and feels very. Anyway, I like that.
You can put the
You could put that over this scene.
Like that's literally what's playing over this.
So they have that. They stop this and they win all the fights. They lock the other guy in the cage and she has a gun on the dad.
Also, Jared here is like heaving with his whole chest, and I'm sitting there like,
yeah, Jared. This is high on the Jared is hot scale.
Once a Sam girl, always a Sam girl.
I know. Anyway, they've won. They've stopped them. Sam goes and lets Dean go. She comes out and she's like, the dad tried to run away. She shot him.
Because she's like begging him. She's like, I just want to know why.
Yeah.
And the dad goes, because it's fun.
Yeah.
And she shoots him and you're like, yeah, fair enough.
Which is great. Good for her. She should have done that.
She's like, he tried to escape.
Yeah. And which is funny that she's lying because neither of these guys would have an issue if she killed that dude. You're like, girl, look at these
two. Come on now.
And then she's like, she tells them, look, the FBI and the local police are on their way. And he's like, hey, to press my luck, can we get and she lets them go, essentially, because she was supposed to arrest Dean for lying, being a felon, quote unquote. She does not do that. She lets them go, and he's like, we're in the middle of nowhere. Could we get a ride? And
she goes, start walking.
And Sam's like, that sounds great to me. And he just starts walking away.
Sam's like, I was all 6'4" of me was pressed into a box. I would like to stretch my legs.
So they start walking. I love this last shot of this episode where they're walking and the camera's kind of rising above them and they're teasing each other about, you got beat up by a little girl. Ooh, getting rusty, old kiddo, right? Which is what Dean says to Sam earlier. Really, really good. This is a good episode.
It's a great episode.
I really like this one.
It brought back a lot of memories for me. This is a pretty classic season 1 atmosphere.
The fight is so much better than I would have thought for a television show like this, to be like how quickly they have to shoot it. But no, they're like throwing him through stuff. Stuff's getting knocked over. He's fighting back. He's getting tackled. They're bloodied up. I like it. And Jensen is so good at the like, all right, now I'm gonna get you, and then I'm gonna get right.
It's great.
And true Jensen Ackles great line deliveries here. Any other things we missed or didn't cover?
No, I don't think so.
Anything we missed from the previous episode as well?
I don't think so.
All right. Okay.
I have multiple lines for best line because
you can give honorable mentions, but you got to pick one. So we're on to best line now.
Okay. I think.
What are your honorable mentions? Throw some of those out.
My honorable mention is the longer version of, I think, what will be yours, which is with our usual playmates, there's rules and patterns. With people, they're just crazy.
That's good.
And then my other one is eat me. No, wait. You actually might.
Hysterical. That line is so funny.
But I think, and this I think is going to be your best line too, is demons I get. People are crazy.
That is my favorite line of this episode. It's funny, but genuinely the eat me. Wait, no, you might actually do that. Is a perfect Dean line.
Hilarious.
It's great.
Hope your apple pie is freaking worth it.
Yeah, you're fugly.
Dude, you're fugly. Like, he's so funny.
Yeah. Okay, what is your favorite kill of this episode? There's only 2, really.
There's only 2, but mine just has to be the guy getting hunted.
Yeah, that scene is just better. It's
great.
Not necessarily better, but it's more actiony, more horror.
Yes.
I'm more into that scene. So that'll take the best kill for both of us. Okay.
Agree.
And once again, Sam and Dean have no kill, so they're not getting anything. It's still 4 Sam, 7 Dean.
Fellas, this season is rapidly approaching its end. And you guys have not really done much.
They've not gotten many kills. However, we had 2 good episodes. I like Nightmare. I really like The Benders.
Yes.
And I think we have 2...
A plot episode and a character episode. Yeah, what else can you ask for?
We have 2 well-rated ones coming up.
Oh, great. Which ones?
I'm excited. Well, we'll get there. Any other wrap-up thoughts? Any other feelings on the Winchesters and their journey so far? Like I said, we're coming to the end.
I have to wonder... Are they related to the Winchesters? Do we ever get into that? I can't remember.
I think we do at some point, but it's like season 10 or something.
Anyways,
it's like a very
you guys
later
should look
one.
up the history of the actual Winchester Mystery House because I can't believe they never actually went there in the show.
I know. That place is crazy.
That place
well,
is
that's
crazy.
because they filmed in Canada.
I guess that's a good point.
Anyway, so that's our show this week. That's our episodes this week. Two ones we really enjoyed, two really good episodes.
Two episodes in a row where people are the real monsters.
You have 1 week from today to watch the next 2 episodes, which are episodes 16 and 17, Shadow, which I don't remember, and Hell House, which I don't remember.
Hell House?
Yeah, I'm very yeah, Hell House.
I think I know which one that one is.
I'm very excited because
boy.
Like I said, I don't really remember a lot of season 1. It's been so long since I've watched it.
I'm going to say 2 words to you that are going to make you really excited.
Okay.
Ghost.
Yeah.
Facers.
No, for real?
Yes. I'm fairly certain Hell House is Ghost Facers.
No.
I'm fairly certain.
Like the found footage one or just
not the found footage one.
Okay.
No, it's the very first instance of them.
I do not remember them being in another one, so this is exciting.
Yes, they show up in season 1 first, and
okay, well then I'm very excited.
yes, I'm 90% sure because that episode's also burned into my brain because it happens. That episode occurs very close to where I grew up and spent most of my life.
I can't wait. Okay, so look, here's the thing. We're very excited about next week. So you have 7 days to watch the next 2 episodes, Shadow and Hell House. But between now and then, you know what to do. Watch some TV, get your journal, hit the road, but remember, you know what's out there. Be afraid of the dark.